I tried, guys. I really tried. I tried to play this game with this mastery build, and I just can't do it. I just can't do it. It's a fine build. I made this build about a week ago to take into Alliance War. Basically, I want it to be a very solid Alliance War defensive build, while also allowing me to have a lot of offensive potential. And if you want to see the decision making behind this build, then you can go back to my channel about a week ago. But I have to go back to the Suicide Masteries. I just love the Suicide Masteries. I can't play the game without these Suicide Masteries. But this time it's going to be different, guys. I'm going to keep 5 out of 5 Mystic Dispersion for my defensive lineup. I'm actually going to have a stronger defensive mastery build, which will help my defenders because I will have willpower, and I will have some other smaller talents like physical resistance. And the offensive tree here is something that I'm going to be resetting. I was trying to avoid this, but it's something I'm going to be resetting every single war, and it's going to cost me 58 units to do that. But I will actually have stronger defense. I'll have a slightly weaker Alliance War offense, but I will have a greatly stronger speed in Arena to allow me to actually continue grinding Arena at a more reasonable pace. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up right now, and I'll show you the exact build. Alright, this is my new hybrid suicide build that's actually going to strengthen my defenders while giving me a much faster grind time in the arena. So let me explain how it all works. As you can see, I still have 5 out of 5 Mystic Dispersion. That's very important to me. I wanted to make sure that I can keep that 5 out of 5 Mystic Dispersion going. Actually, my utility tree is the same as it was in my previous build. My defensive tree, this is where my defenders actually get stronger than they were before, as I do have 4 out of 4 of physical resistance. That's about 6.5 damage reduction that they're taking, and when you multiply that by like the greater health pools that they have in there, it's not essential, but it's not bad. It actually does help a little bit. I also have willpower maxed out, and I do have 1 point into Coagulate as well to help reduce that bleed damage a little bit. I was trying to figure out a way to put a second point in there, and I was tempted to take 1 point out of parry. But honestly, I do run champions that are, immune to bleeds quite a bit, and even in Alliance War defense, there's some of them are immune to bleed anyway. So I figured, you know what, let's just keep it at 1 point. Then my offensive tree. Here's where the hybrid suicide part of it comes into play. So I would place my defenders like this. As you can see, I do not have any points in the suicide masteries, but I do have 8 points remaining. So I'd place my defenders like this, and then I'd go ahead and put 1 point into Glass Cannon, 1 point into Recoil, and then I'd max out both Double Edge and Liquid Courage after they're placed. This way, once you place your defense, they're locked into the masteries that you place them in with. So, yeah, that's the whole idea behind this build, is that place them in, put those points in the Suicide Masteries, grind away until the next war begins. Then I would just recover my offensive masteries, and I'd place all those points again. And it's going to cost me 53 units every single time that I want to do this, but I more than make up those units in the arena. It saves me so much time, and it comes out to, I'll show you guys the math. I'll break down the math a little bit. This might sound like a lot, but it's actually not. It's a little calculator up here, so it's going to be 53 units per war. There's 3 wars per week. And let's just say, 4 weeks in a month, slightly more than that, but yeah. So it's about 636. I mean, we could add one more on top of that too, right? So 689 would be the entire month's cost, all 30 days in a month that it would cost me to run this build. And again, while this might sound like a lot to some people, with this Suicide Mastery build and hitting all the milestones in the arena, I get about 5,000 to 6,000 units a month. So, and I'm still going to have the exact same, very strong, actually even stronger Alliance War defensive build, again, because of adding in these masteries in the defensive tree. I will be slightly weaker on Alliance War offense. It is nice to not have the suicides for my Alliance War offense, but honestly, in some fights, I'd rather have the suicides even. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. It's really not that big of a deal, and I really don't mind it at all. I've been playing this way for a very long time. The majority of my time in this game is spent in something like the arena, whereas in Alliance War offense, it's about 10 to 15 minutes per war times 3 a week, right? So we're talking about a half an hour to 45 minutes, where it's a slight hindrance compared to all the hours that I spend in arena. So this is going to be my build going forward. I'm going to go ahead. My Alliance War defenders are already placed. I didn't want to, show you guys my Alliance War setup, even though some of you kind of know what it is already. But I'm going to go ahead and place all of these points in here right now just to finalize the build. And then, like I said, whenever I have to, place my defenders again, then I'm just going to go ahead and recover the offensive tree. And again, it'll only be 53 units every time I do that. Really not that big of a deal. Alright, so this is now the final build in case you were curious what I'm running. I will likely be running this for quite a while now. The last build, you know what, it was a fine build, but I don't know, it felt like it just didn't give me enough power in Arena. We'll see what happens once the next Alliance War update hits. That should be relatively soon here, maybe in about 2 weeks from the time of this recording. And maybe when the new Alliance War system hits, maybe I won't want the suicides. Maybe the nodes will be, maybe the nodes will hurt badly enough that I do want to drop the suicides again. So I don't know. We'll see. Masteries is something I like to play around with, and for now I am excited to try this build out. All right, thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Take care.